Yeah, hi guys, welcome to our mathematics class, a class of mathematics question and answer, series 1 of it. We are glad to have you there listening to us. So we want to look at some questions in mathematics and how to solve them gradually. So let's look at the questions as follows. Number 1 says, what is the value of number 8 in the number 142.68? What is the value of number 8 in the number 142.68? Option A said 100, option B tens, option C tenths, option D 100. So let's look at the solution to this question. Let's consider the solution to the question. If we arrange this number in their place value, you have the first digit, which is 1, to be 100, the second one tens, and the last one to be units. So, and the other part, which is the decimal part, we have it to be tenth and 100. So in that case now, if you look at it, the place value of 8 here is 100. The place value of 8 here is 100. So the answer to the question 1 is D, which is 100. That is for question 1. Now let's proceed to question 2. Let's proceed to question 2. So question 2 says, determine the mode of this set of numbers. Determine the mode of this set of numbers 4, 7, 5, 8, 5, 10. What will be the mode? What is the mode of this set of data? Now, the options we have here, option A said 4, option B 5, C 7, D 10. Solution now. First, what is mode? Let's define what is mode in order to be able to know how to find mode. Mode is the number that has the highest frequency in a given set of data. If you have a set of data in this form, so the mode is usually the data that has the highest frequency, the data that comes most in a given set of data. Such data is called mode. So in other case now, in other words, let's prepare a frequency table and see the number that comes most in this set of data. So let us prepare a frequency table as we have below. Let's look at our frequency table. In our frequency table, from what we have from the numbers, we discover that 4 comes once, and 7 comes once, 5 is twice, 8 is once, and 10 is also once. So looking at this table now, you will see that number 5 is the only number that comes twice, which also has the highest frequency. So in that case, 5 is the mode. 5 is the mode. And if you go back to the option, which option is having 5 is option B. So the answer is B. So the answer to this question now is B. The answer to okay, let's just write the answer is B. Now the answer to the question is B, which is the mode 5. Now let's proceed to the question 3. To question 3, which of these quadrilateral does not have its diagonals perpendicular to each other? Which of these quadrilateral does not have its diagonal perpendicular to each other? A, square, B, kite, C, rhombus, D, none of the above. Now let's see the shapes and consider their various diagonals first before we now know the one that is correct in these options. So if you look at the options here, we have square to have its diagonal perpendicular to each other here, and also a rectangle is diagonal perpendicular to each other. Also a kite, if we look at a kite, if we look at a rhombus, it has its diagonal perpendicular to each other. So also a kite. So all these shapes now, as you can see, they all have their diagonal perpendicular to each other. So that means the option that's supposed to be the correct answer in that place is none of the above. So considering all the shapes now, you will discover that their various diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So the answer to the question is D, which is what? None of the above. None of the above. Now let's consider question 4. In question 4, it was said that if today is Tuesday, what day of the week will it be in 18 days time? If today is Tuesday, what day of the week will it be in 18 days time? Option A, Saturday. Option B, Thursday. Option C, Wednesday. Option D, Monday. Now, what day will it be in 18 days time? So let's look at the solution. From today, Tuesday, to another Tuesday of the second week makes it 8 days. From today, Tuesday now, if today is Tuesday, and from the other Tuesday that is coming in the second week, it will be 8 days. So from the second Tuesday again, second week of Tuesday, to the third Tuesday makes it another 8 days. So if you add these 8 days, these two 8 days together, it will give us 16 days. Or we can say that, so that 8 days now is multiplied by 2 to give us 16 days. If 8 days multiplied together by 2, it will give us 16 days. So by adding extra 2 days, make it Thursday. By the time you add another extra day to that Tuesday now, it's giving us Thursday, and that is now 18 days. So the day that it will be on the 18 days time, if today is Tuesday, is going to be Thursday. So the answer to this question is B. The answer to the question is B. So let's consider question 5 now. Question 5 is about binary, subtraction of binary. Subtraction of binary. What is the number? The number is 110110 minus 101101 in base 2. Both of them are in base 2. Before we can subtract a number like this, before you can subtract any number in bases, they must be in the same basis. So if they are not in the same basis, you have to convert it in order to make sure that they are in the same basis before you can add them or before you can subtract them. So since they are already in the same basis, we don't need to do any conversion. So let's look at the solution, the options. The option A said 1001 in base 2. Option B, 1011 in base 2. Option C, 1101. And option D, 1110. So what's the solution now? Let's look at the solution as we have here. We have 0 minus 1 to be impossible. 0 minus 1 to be impossible. So what we have to do, we have to borrow 1 here in order to make this place 10. So by the time we borrow this one that is here, this place becomes 10. And 10 is a bundle of 2. So in number in base 2, when you have 10, it's become a bundle of 2. So that 10 now is standing as 2. So if you now subtract 2 from 1, you're having 1. So remember, we don't have any number left here. We are only having 0. So 0 minus 0 will give us 0. So in this place as well, you have 1. You don't need to borrow 1. It's just 1 minus 1. So that will give us 0. In the same way like we did here, if you look at it, you're having 0 here. If you borrow this one to this place again, you're having 10. And 10 is a bundle which gives us 2. So 2 minus 1 again, we're having 1. So in this place, we're having 0. 0 minus 0, we have 0. Then 1 minus 1, we have 0. So the answer to this question now is 1001 in base 2, which is option A. So the answer to the question is A. I hope you are following me, and if you are enjoying this class, I want you to give us a thumbs up in the option below, in the comment below. Please, option 6, number 6, question 6. I mean, sorry for that. Sometimes we just speak in tongues when we are doing something like this. Sorry about that. Now let's consider question 6. Simplify 6 open bracket x minus 2y close bracket minus 3 open bracket 2x plus y close bracket. Now if you look at this now, you have option A to be minus 20y, option B minus 15y, option C minus y, and option D minus 10y. So let's look at the solution here now. So we have 6 open bracket x minus 2y close bracket minus 3y open bracket 2x plus y. Now first, what we are going to do here is first of all open the bracket by multiplying through with their factors. We have 6 times x, 6x, 6 times minus 2y, that's minus 12y, then 3 times 2 minus 3 times 2x, which is minus 6x, minus 3 times plus y will give us minus 3y, because minus times plus is minus. So secondly, now we collect like terms. We look at those ones that are having the same value, xx and yy. So if you look at those ones that are having xs, we have 6x minus 6x. Remember, when you are moving these numbers, you are moving them with their signs. With their sign beside them. You know that this one is having minus 6, so you are carrying the minus 6, and this one is minus 12, you are putting it down here, and this one is minus 3y, you are putting down together to be minus 3y. So by the time you now subtract this, now you have 6x minus 6s, that's 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. Then minus 12y minus 3y will give us minus 15y, because both of them are just like when you are owing debt. When you are owing 12 naira and you are still owing 3 naira, definitely you are owing 15 naira. So our answer to this question 6 is B, which is minus 15y. Let's go to question 7 now. Question 7. Question 7 says, which of the following statement is true? Which of the following statement is true? They said all parallelograms are rhombus, all kites are square, all rhombus are parallelogram, all kites are rhombus. So which of these statements from A to D is correct? If we look at it very well, we'll be able to decide which one is correct. So let's look at our solution. So I have the shape drawn here so as to guide us in order to look at it if any of these statements is correct. I have the shape here. Now let's look at the solution now. The number, if you look at the first shape we have here from the given questions, A said all parallelograms are rhombus. Is that true? Is that a valid statement? All parallelogram, can they be a rhombus? No. The all parallelogram cannot be a rhombus. That is an invalid statement. But all rhombus are what? Are parallelograms. All rhombus are parallelograms. So that's invalid statement for number A. Number B, all kites are square. You see, they said all kites are square. That is not a true statement. All kites cannot be square. Then option C says all rhombus are parallelogram. Yes, it is possible to be able to get rhombus in the parallelograms. So, but all parallelograms are not rhombus. All rhombus are parallelograms. So we can get a rhombus in a parallelogram. So all kites are rhombus. No, all kites are not rhombus. It is not possible. So the correct answer in this question is C. All rhombus are what? All rhombus are parallelograms. So the correct answer is C. Let's go to number 8 now. Question 8. In question 8, we are looking for amount. We are asked to find the amount of 800 naira for 1 year at 10%. So we are paying 10% on 800 naira. How much are we going to pay altogether at the end of 1 year? Assuming we borrow an amount of 800 naira and for 1 year, and we have to pay back a 10% of this amount, how much are we going to pay? Option A said 720, option B said 800, option C said 875 naira altogether as the amount, and option D said 880. So let's look at the solution now. If we look at the solution, you will discover that from the given above, amount is equals to interest plus principal. So, but what is our principal? Our principal is the amount we borrowed, which is 800 naira. Our time is the time where the money is going to stay with us before we pay back, and our rate is the percentage at which we are paying it. So we are paying at the rate of 10% at the end of 1 year. So now, if you now consider, therefore interest now is equals to principal times time times rate, which is our rate is over 100. That's why you're having this over 100 here. So the formula is principal times time times rate. So times rate, which is what? Rate is in percentage, which is over 100. Now, if you now put in the numbers, now put in the value, we're able to find the answers. So principal now, which is 800, our time, which is 1 year, then our rate, which is 10%, which is 10 over 100, 10 over 100, 10 over 100. So in that case now, we have, if we 100, how many 100 can we see in 800? That is 8 now. So if you see 8, it will mean 8 times 1 times 10, which is 80. So the interest we are paying back now is 80. Remember, amount is what? Amount is interest plus principal. So we are now going to add the two together now and see the final solution. So that means amount is equal to what? 800 plus 80. So in that regard now, our final payment at the end of the year is what? At the end of 1 year is 800. So our answer to the question is D. The answer to that question is D, option D. Let's look at, so let's go to option 9, the question 9 I mean. The question 9 says express 2,966,739 to the nearest thousand. So we are expressing this number to the nearest thousands. And how do we do that? We look at the options first. 2,960,000. Option B said 2,966,000 will be the answer. Option C said 2,967,000, and option D said 2,968,000. So if we look at the solution like I have here, I said the digit 7, which is in the 100, which is this one, in the above figure is above 5. So any number that is above 5 can be converted to 1. So such number can be converted to 1 to be added to the number that preceded it in order to round it up. So if this 7 now is converted to 1 and is added to this 6, it's become 7. So in that case now, our final answer to the nearest thousands of this number here will be what? 2,967,000. That will be our final answer, 2,967,000. So the answer is C, the option C. Let's consider number 10 now, question 10. Now, if we consider question 10, it says boy earns 3,000 naira per week. Each week he spends 3x naira on food, 2x naira on rent, and save the rest. How much does he save in a week? So according to our options here, if you look at it, we have 3,000 naira minus 6x naira, that is the amount he saved. 3,000 naira minus 5x, that is the amount he saved. And 3,000 naira minus 3x, that is the amount he saved. And 3,000 naira minus 2x naira, that is the amount he saved. So we are going to look at which one is the correct option from this place now. Is it A or B or C or D? And don't be surprised when you are saying this, because as I know some of you might be imagining, why don't you just subtract 3,000 naira minus 6x? It is not possible to subtract it because this is just a letter. When you have 6x or a letter like this, 3x, it means letters. So it means x plus x plus x, and this one means x plus x. So, and this one is a value. 3,000 naira is a value. So we cannot subtract a value which is money from letters. So it's impossible. So the only option we have left is to either leave it in this manner. That is why you are saying these options in this manner. So let's look at the solution now. The solution is first add the amount he spent on food and rent together, and then subtract it from the amount he earned per week. So when we are adding the amount he spent together, that is 3x naira plus 2x naira, that gives us 5x naira. So in that regard now we now have to subtract it from the total amount he earned per week, which is now the amount he saved now will be 3,000 naira minus 5x naira. So, and this is the final answer we are having. You can see that we are factorized with naira because naira is common to both of them now. So it will now be 3,000 naira minus 5x, which is now the final answer. So from this option now, you can see that the final answer is B. So thanks for being there. Thanks for listening to us. This is our first series in mathematics question and answer. We hope you enjoyed the class. If you really enjoyed the class, please subscribe to this channel, give us a like, and then it's so that when you subscribe to this channel, each time we upload a new video or each time we bring a new video, you will be notified that a new video has been brought up from mathematics class on questions and answer. Thanks for being there. Thanks for listening to us. We will see you in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.